Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling tired, foggy, craving something sweet or unusually thirsty, and simply thought it was due to aging or a poor night's sleep? In fact, these could be the very first signs that your blood sugar is starting to get out of control. According to a report from the National Institutes of Health, as many as 33% of people over the age of 60 are quietly entering the prediabetic stage without even knowing it. What's more concerning is that the cause isn't always a sugary breakfast or a carb-heavy lunch. It may actually begin with one small habit you're doing wrong right before going to bed. In today's content, we will explore 5 common bedtime habits that may silently disrupt your blood sugar overnight, leading to restless sleep, fatigue, and gradually increasing your risk of developing diabetes. If you're over 60 and care about your health, don't skip this important information. And before we begin, feel free to share where you live and your age, so we know who we're walking alongside in this journey to protect senior wellness. The first habit is skipping dinner or eating too early, which can cause blood sugar to drop during the night. There's a quiet contradiction happening in many households, especially among people over 60. Many believe that eating dinner early or skipping it altogether is the best way to manage weight and improve digestion. So, they often finish their last meal by 5 or 6 in the evening and don't eat anything again until the next morning. But what few people realize is that this long stretch of fasting overnight can actually throw blood sugar out of balance, particularly in older adults whose ability to regulate insulin has already declined. When you go to bed with an empty stomach and fast for 10 to 12 hours, your body is forced to activate an internal stress response to keep blood sugar from falling too low. It does this by releasing a familiar hormone, cortisol. The problem is, when cortisol suddenly spikes in the middle of the night, it not only wakes you up around 2 or 3 a.m., but also pushes your blood sugar back up. This leads to fatigue, poor sleep, and sugar cravings the next morning. I remember one patient named Helen, a retired professor living in Oregon. She was extremely disciplined, always having dinner at 5 p.m., never snacking at night, and going to bed before 9. But for months, she would wake up in the middle of the night feeling dizzy, craving sweets in the morning. And most puzzling of all, her fasting glucose levels were strangely high each morning. After a thorough review, we discovered that the issue wasn't with her meals during the day, but rather with the long gap between dinner and breakfast. Once we had her try a small evening snack around 8 p.m., just a few walnuts, a spoonful of Greek yogurt, or half a boiled egg, something amazing happened. Within a week, she was sleeping more deeply and stopped waking up at night. And after a month, her morning glucose numbers began to steadily drop, all without needing additional medication. A study from Tufts University also confirmed that maintaining stable blood sugar overnight improves deep sleep, reduces inflammation, and helps prevent insulin resistance over time. In other words, for older adults, stability is more important than strictness. And a light evening snack may be the difference between a restful night and one filled with blood sugar swings and wakefulness. You might be wondering, doesn't eating late at night cause weight gain? The answer is not if you choose the right kind of food. Avoid fast carbs and sugar. Instead, opt for light proteins and healthy fats that help maintain a gentle and steady glucose level in your blood. This won't just prevent weight gain, it may actually reduce morning cravings and help you take better control of your breakfast choices. So tonight, before you turn off the lights and go to sleep. And ask yourself, is my body truly ready to rest? Or is it quietly hungry? A spoonful of yogurt or a few almonds might be all you need to enjoy a deeper sleep and protect your blood sugar overnight. The second habit is having an irregular bedtime, which disrupts your natural insulin rhythm. If there's one thing many of us tend to overlook after the age of 60, it's our bedtime. Many people believe that as long as they get enough hours of sleep, it doesn't matter when they go to bed, as long as there's time to rest the next day. But what very few realize is that our body, especially as we grow older, operates based on a highly sensitive internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. When you go to bed at 9 p.m. one night, then stay up until 11 the next, and sleep past midnight on the weekend, you're unintentionally creating a kind of chaos for your hormonal system. That includes insulin, the hormone responsible for keeping blood sugar stable. A study published in the medical journal JAMA Network Open in 2024 found that people over the age of 60 who had inconsistent bedtimes from one day to the next were 45% more likely to develop type 2 diabetes, even if their total weekly sleep hours were adequate. In other words, it's not just how long you sleep, but also when you sleep, that matters. When your bedtime keeps shifting, your body gets confused about when to rest and when to be alert. This throws off the timing of melatonin, cortisol, and insulin, making blood sugar regulation far less efficient. I remember a patient named Robert, age 70, who used to be a computer engineer in San Francisco. During the week, he would go to bed early, often by 9 p.m. But on weekends, he had a habit of staying up late to watch movies with his grandchildren, sometimes past 11 p.m. What puzzled him was that even though he ate a healthy diet and walked every morning, his HbA1c, the average blood sugar level over 3 months, remained high. After carefully reviewing his lifestyle log, we found that the issue wasn't his food or activity, but rather the inconsistency in his bedtime. Once he committed to going to bed at the same time every night, including Saturdays and Sundays, and started a relaxing wind-down routine, like reading or listening to soft music before bed, his blood sugar levels began to drop steadily within 6 weeks without changing his diet at all. Your body, especially after 60, is no longer as adaptable as it once was. It needs consistent daily cues to know when to release melatonin for restful sleep, when to stop producing cortisol, so blood sugar doesn't rise at night, and when to begin nighttime repair. Every time you shift your bedtime, your body has to readjust the entire endocrine system. That repeated adjustment leads to fatigue, unusual hunger, sugar cravings, and a silent increase in diabetes risk. So if you still think, I'll just catch up on sleep tomorrow, it may be time to rethink that, because sleeping enough hours is not the same as sleeping at the right time. And a regular bedtime is one of the most natural ways to help balance blood sugar. Think about it. What time will you go to bed tonight? The third habit is skipping a light drink in the evening, leading to silent dehydration. One common concern many older adults have before bedtime is the fear of waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. A lot of people say they try to avoid drinking any fluids after 7 p.m. to prevent sleep disruptions. But what most don't realize is that avoiding water in the evening can silently lead to mild dehydration. And that alone can disturb both your blood sugar levels and the quality of your sleep the next morning. The aging body, much like a tree that has weathered many dry seasons, needs gentle hydration to maintain its inner flow. When you let it dry out, even just a little, internal organs like the liver, kidneys, and pancreas, which manage hormones and regulate blood sugar, begin to function less effectively. As a result, insulin loses its sensitivity, making it harder to keep blood glucose stable throughout the night. A study from Harvard Medical School showed that losing just 1 to 2% of your body's water content can significantly affect glucose metabolism, especially in older adults. When you go to bed mildly dehydrated, your blood becomes slightly thicker, circulation slows, and insulin, the hormone that helps move sugar from the blood into the cells, travels more sluggishly than usual. The result is that blood sugar isn't properly processed overnight, which can cause you to wake up feeling tired, with a dry mouth, a mild headache, and unusually high blood sugar, even if you didn't eat anything. I remember a patient named Mark, age 67, who used to be a carpenter in the Seattle area. He had a habit of drinking nothing after 6 p.m. because he was afraid that nighttime bathroom trips would ruin his sleep. But lately, he had been waking up feeling dizzy in the morning, and his home blood sugar readings consistently showed pre-diabetic levels. After reviewing his diet and medication with no clear cause, we began to suspect hydration, or rather, the lack of it. When we guided him to drink a small glass of warm water, about 150 milliliters, at 8 p.m. and maintain regular hydration throughout the day. Within just 2 weeks, he stopped feeling dizzy in the mornings, and his blood sugar levels began to improve steadily. What you need to understand is that this is not about drinking a lot of water before bed, which could backfire. It's about drinking the right amount at the right time to prevent your body from running low on fluids overnight. A small cup of non-caffeinated herbal tea or warm water with a few slices of lemon or ginger can help promote smooth circulation, calm the nervous system, and support liver detoxification more efficiently. Most importantly, it allows insulin to function smoothly while you sleep. So tonight, before you even think about going to bed, ask yourself, is my body hydrated enough to recover overnight? One well-timed sip of water might be the key to waking up tomorrow, feeling more refreshed and seeing more stable blood sugar levels. The fourth habit is using bright screens before bed, which disrupts glucose-related hormones. In today's digital age, scrolling through a few news stories, reading some messages, or watching a short episode before bed has become a nightly routine for many. This is especially true for older adults who live alone or enjoy late-night entertainment. That small screen often feels like a comforting companion in the quiet evening hours. But few people realize that the blue light from phones, tablets, or TVs can silently interfere with sleep hormones and indirectly raise blood sugar levels the next morning. Your body has a very smart internal signal system, and that is the hormone melatonin. This hormone helps you feel sleepy, relax, and enter deep sleep. But melatonin doesn't just improve sleep. It's also closely connected to how your body regulates blood sugar. When blue light enters your eyes, especially within 1 hour before bedtime, the production of melatonin is blocked. Your body thinks it's still daytime and delays activating its rest and recovery system. This causes two problems. First, you sleep lightly and wake up more often. Second, insulin becomes less effective. So glucose in your blood isn't processed properly through the night. A study from Harvard Medical School showed that after just one night of exposure to bright light before sleep, participants experienced a noticeable drop in insulin sensitivity the next morning, even though they had slept the full number of hours. This means that just one late night show at 10 p.m. or one scroll through your phone in the dark can disrupt your hormone balance and raise your blood sugar even if you haven't eaten anything new. I remember a patient named Carol, age 69, living in Texas. She had a habit of reading evening news on her iPad every night, often until 11 p.m. She said it was the only way she didn't feel lonely. And she didn't think it was harmful since she still got 7 hours of sleep. But she always woke up feeling tired, hungry in the morning, and her test results showed signs of prediabetes. When I suggested she turn off electronic devices 1 hour before bedtime and switch to reading a printed book, using soft amber lighting, or listening to calm music instead, something changed. After just 3 weeks, her morning fatigue was gone and her blood sugar levels noticeably improved. You don't have to live as if it's the time before smartphones. You just need to understand that light is one of the strongest signals your body uses to regulate hormones. Allowing the wrong kind of light at the wrong time can throw off the rhythm of your internal organs. It's like an orchestra trying to play the right music while the conductor shows up late. Everything feels off, even though each musician is playing the correct notes. So tonight, before you turn on your phone or television, ask yourself, am I truly relaxing? Or am I quietly confusing my body without realizing it? Just 1 hour of quiet time without harsh light or screens can help your body return to its natural rhythm. You'll sleep more deeply, wake up feeling lighter, and have more stable blood sugar levels, all without needing a single pill. The fifth habit is going to sleep with a tense mind. Cortisol stays high and blood sugar doesn't rest. There is a very familiar state that often goes unnoticed by many older adults. It's when you're lying still in bed, but your mind just won't stop thinking. Maybe you're replaying an unfinished conversation, worrying about something left undone during the day, or simply dwelling on a piece of news that felt heavy. While it may seem harmless, this mental restlessness is actually one of the hidden reasons your sleep suffers and your blood sugar rises night after night. When you're not truly relaxed before sleep, your body doesn't receive the signal to begin the recovery process. Instead, it activates a acute alert system, prompting your adrenal glands to release cortisol. This puts you into sleep on the outside. But inside, your body remains on high alert all the time. This not only causes chronic sleep disturbances, but also reduces insulin's effectiveness, allowing glucose to remain in the bloodstream even if you haven't eaten. A study published in the American Journal of Lifestyle Medicine found that people who experienced mild but prolonged stress in the evening had morning blood sugar levels 15 to 20% higher than those who maintained a relaxed state before bed. I once worked with a woman named Linda, age 72, a retired teacher living in Ohio. She had a very disciplined lifestyle. She didn't eat sugar, avoided coffee, and took morning walks every day, yet her blood sugar remained high for months. And she often woke up feeling tired and unusually hungry. When we reviewed her nighttime habits, we discovered she often watched crime dramas, scrolled through breaking news, or answered emails right before bed. Once she replaced these habits with relaxing activities like writing a few lines of gratitude in her journal doing gentle stretches, and listening to soft music, her sleep became deeper within just 3 weeks, and her morning blood sugar level dropped noticeably. The issue wasn't her age or diet, it was how she helped her brain slow down at the end of the day. Your body needs a gentle transition into rest through slow breathing, soft lighting, and positive thoughts, sending your nervous system a clear message that everything is done and now it's time to rest is the most important thing you can do to allow your hormones to return to their natural rhythm. You've just taken a journey with me that may seem small, simply about what we do before going to sleep, but in truth, it deeply affects your health and blood sugar after the age of 60. We saw how skipping dinner or eating too early can cause blood sugar to drop and then spike in the middle of the night. We also learned that irregular bedtimes disrupt your natural rhythms and cause insulin to function at the wrong times. Then there's not drinking enough water in the evening, which thickens the blood, slows circulation, and makes it harder for insulin to reach where it's needed. We also uncovered how blue light from screens blocks melatonin, disrupts your sleep, and throws off your blood sugar balance. And finally, the most overlooked habit of all, going to bed with a restless mind, silently keeps cortisol high throughout the night. These 5 habits, if not recognized in time, you can quietly bring you closer to the doorstep of diabetes without you even realizing it. But the good news is, you don't need to change the entire world overnight. You only need to start with one small thing tonight. Maybe it's drinking a warm glass of water before bed, turning off your screen 30 minutes earlier, or writing a few lines of gratitude in your journal, and let your body rediscover its natural balance from within. If you found today's content helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. We'll be sharing more videos about nutrition, herbs, and exercises to support senior health. And if you've experienced any of the 5 habits we discussed, feel free to share your story in the comments below so our community can walk this journey together and support one another each day.